For Cliff Richard, music has never been just a career. It has been a lifelong calling. Across decades, he has remained one of Britain's most recognizable voices, shaping generations of listeners with his songs. Now in his 80s, his reflections on life, mortality, and legacy carry even greater weight. Fans who grew up with his music still follow his journey closely, not just for nostalgia, but for inspiration. His story is one of endurance, reinvention, and emotional honesty, showing how a life in the spotlight can evolve while still staying deeply meaningful. Early beginnings in India. Before fame, Cliff Richard was born Harry Roger Webb in Lucknow, India, during the era of British rule. His childhood unfolded in a culturally rich yet politically tense environment as India moved toward independence. His father worked for railway catering services while his mother managed the household. Despite modest living conditions, the family remained close-knit. These early years shaped his worldview, giving him a unique cultural background. Though he would later become a symbol of British pop, his beginnings in India played a quiet but important role in forming his identity and resilience. A new life in England. In 1948, following rising unrest after independence, the Webb family relocated to England. The move marked a dramatic shift from relative comfort in India to a more uncertain life in post-war Britain. They settled in modest housing, and young Harry had to adapt quickly to a different environment. Schooling became central to his routine, and although life was not easy, stability slowly returned. These formative years taught him perseverance. Living in working-class neighborhoods, he developed a grounded perspective that would later contrast sharply with the glamour of fame he would eventually experience. Discovering music and passion. Music entered Harry's life as a teenager, changing his direction entirely. Inspired by the popular skiffle movement, he began experimenting with sound and rhythm. When his father gifted him a guitar at 16, it became a turning point. He joined small groups, including a vocal harmony band and a skiffle ensemble, gaining early performance experience. These humble beginnings laid the foundation for his future success. At the time, it was simply passion and curiosity driving him forward. Yet, those first steps into music would soon evolve into something far greater than he could have imagined. Becoming Cliff Richard. The transformation from Harry Webb to Cliff Richard marked the start of a new identity. As part of a rock and roll group, he adopted a stage name that captured strength and individuality. The band, initially called The Drifters, would later evolve, but this period was crucial. His breakthrough came with the song Move It, which quickly gained popularity. Even John Lennon later praised it as one of Britain's first authentic rock and roll tracks. With that success, Cliff Richard emerged as a serious artist, stepping confidently into the spotlight. Rise to stardom with the Shadows. Cliff's partnership with the Shadows helped elevate him to national fame. Together, they produced a string of hits that defined early British rock and pop. Songs like Living Doll showcased a softer, more melodic side, broadening his appeal. During this era, he was often compared to Elvis Presley, reflecting his influence and style. The collaboration with the Shadows created a sound that resonated widely, placing him at the forefront of British music before the rise of newer bands in the 1960s. Expanding beyond music. Cliff Richard did not limit himself to singing. In the 1960s, he transitioned into film and television, starring in popular productions that expanded his reach. Movies like The Young Ones and Summer Holiday strengthened his connection with fans. At the same time, his personal beliefs began shaping his work as he embraced his Christian faith more openly. This influenced both his music and public image. Unlike many artists, he managed to evolve without losing relevance. His ability to balance entertainment with personal conviction contributed significantly to his enduring appeal. Record-breaking achievements. Over time, Cliff Richard built an extraordinary legacy. With over 130 top 20 releases in the UK and dozens of top 10 hits, his consistency is unmatched. He became one of the best-selling artists globally, with sales exceeding 250 million records. While his success in the United States was more limited, he remained hugely popular across Europe, Asia, and beyond. His career longevity is particularly remarkable, spanning more than 6 decades. Few artists have maintained such a sustained presence, proving his adaptability and dedication to his craft throughout changing musical eras. Personal loss and resilience. Behind the success, Cliff's life included deep personal loss. The death of his father when he was just 20 had a lasting emotional impact. Later, losing his mother further shaped his perspective on life and relationships. These experiences brought a sense of maturity and introspection that influenced both his music and public persona. Despite challenges, he remained composed and dignified. His ability to continue performing while carrying personal grief demonstrated remarkable resilience. It also helped fans connect with him on a more human level, beyond his celebrity status. Facing mortality with honesty. Now in his 80s, Cliff Richard speaks openly about aging and mortality. Rather than avoiding the topic, he addresses it with clarity and acceptance. His comments about not knowing what the future holds reflect a realistic outlook. Yet, he continues to perform, showing that passion does not fade easily. His ongoing tours demonstrate that he still values the connection with his audience. This stage of his life highlights a balance between acknowledging limitations and embracing the present. It is a perspective that resonates deeply with fans who have followed him for decades. Conclusion: a legacy still unfolding. Cliff Richard's journey is far from over. Even after decades in the spotlight, he continues to perform and reflect on life with honesty and grace. His story is not just about fame, but about endurance, adaptation, and staying true to oneself. As he moves forward, fans are left to wonder how long he will continue. But perhaps that is not the point. What matters is that he still finds joy in what he does. His legacy is already secure, yet he keeps adding to it, proving that passion and purpose can endure at any age.